budgeting, how we do our budgeting, and how budgeting execution is being.
The National Assembly Joint Committee on National Planning and Economic Affairs Development, in partnership with the Office of the Vice President of Federation Republic of Nigeria, the Office of Senator Nweboy, who represents Senate President of the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, the Office of the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Budget,
Senator Goswell Obot Akpabio,
Office of Federation, has convened a high-level national policy dialogue in Abuja. The event, held in collaboration with the GAP constituency and the Management Services Limited, focuses on the theme, the imperative of national development plan and effective budgeting system for sustainable growth of Nigeria economy.
There's a problem of lack of continuity.
Senator Goswell Obot Akpabio is unavoidably absent as a result of conflicting national engagement.
Budgeting and how budgeting execution is being done in the system. So they talk about
This morning, but due to
On that level, it can have a way of the $1 trillion economy to ensure that no
those in the major federal constituency. The program today has to do with budgeting, how we do our budgeting and how budgeting execution is being done in the system. So they talk about planning because we realize that planning is most important before you do a budget for an execution. Budget is a proposal. When the president make the proposal to National Assembly, he expects the National Assembly to go through that proposal and allocate funds to each MDAs. And there in the fund, there's something we call capital project, and there's something we call overhead personnel, overhead costs, and all. So, and in terms in this now, we're talking about how do we project for $1 trillion economy in year 2030. So, how do we, the president proposed for a $1 trillion economy in year 2030. So, how do you work towards achieving that goal? That is the main focus of this retreat. How we work towards achieving that goal is to make proper planning. It's when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's what it is. So what they are doing now is to make appropriate plan and plan and follow up with serious execution. And I think the program is good for National Assembly and for the executive too.
Okay, so the allocation of funds has been a major problem.
Yes.
Now, when you are planning, when you are at the same time, how will you?
I think what I would say to that is you plan based on the fund available to you. Because I think the problem we have thus far is to plan above what we have. That's why you have failure in project execution. But if you plan based on what you have, at least you can execute based on what you assume that okay, this is the revenue, this is target revenue. So you plan based on that target revenue. I think it's part of this retreat, so that government can make appropriate planning, so that whenever they make project presentation, so that planning will come along with project presentation, so that execution will not be an issue. Thank you so much.